AITA if I tell my friend her BF is planning to propose, my 27F best friend has been dating her boyfriend, 26M, for over 5 years. A while back he reached out to me to help figure out ring size, and the setup so he could make this the most magical day for her. Having known my friend for over 20 plus years, I know exactly how she wants her proposal to go and who she wants to be there, so I relayed all this information to him months ago via texts and over the phone. I even took the time to covertly find and confirm which ring she would love the most. A little background: my friend is incredibly family and friend-oriented, and in the past expressed to me on multiple occasions, especially during holiday season, that in the 5 years they've been together, he hasn't really made much of an effort to indoctrinate himself into her family or friendships the way she has for his. While I do generally like him, I have always felt that he is incredibly self-serving and self-focused. Recently, through a mutual friend, I found out he started a group text between his, emphasis on his, friends and his family to set up the time and date of the proposal. He has not only excluded myself, and according to the screenshots I've seen, he is doing everything verbatim I suggested he do, but he has completely excluded her family and other close friends from the event. He is planning on only having his boys and family present for the occasion. And knowing my friend, this would ultimately break her heart not being able to share this moment with her loved ones. I got heated and called him. At first he was dodging my questions, then just outright said, "This is my proposal and I've spent enough time and money to choose how I do it, just be happy for your friend. It's not like you're not coming to the wedding." This infuriated me, and to make matters worse, I ran into her mom and dad at the grocery store, and subtly asked if they knew of any possibility she was getting engaged. They were unaware, and I know for a fact my friend has told him that he needs to ask her parents for their blessing. She's somewhat traditional. My friend wears her heart on her sleeve, and I can predict how this event will go down when she sees all of his close friends and family and none of hers. Considering her previous sentiments about his lack of interest in her family/life, she will 100% see this as being hurtful and selfish, and I know she'll cry. To make matters worse, the location of the proposal is a whopping 30 minutes from her parents' home. I don't want to get involved in a fight or reveal the surprise, but on the other hand I feel I owe it to my lifelong friend to help her avoid being hurt and disappointed. Maybe even helping her rethink what her future would look like with someone who just doesn't really appreciate what she values in life. So, AITA if I tell my friend her boyfriend is going to propose, edit, I did not tell her parents. I covertly inquired if he had spoken to them yet about proposing since it's been 5 years, like in a joking way. The proposal is scheduled for this weekend. After so many responses, I have decided not to say anything and to let things play out. I gave him an opportunity by expressing the need to invite her parents and friends like she's always wanted, and he chose not to. That's on him, not me. Notable comments: do not tell her. As much as you know her and want this proposal to go as planned, it is ultimately up to her boyfriend how he wants to do it. If your friend is disappointed, then that can be her sign to discuss with her fiancé about moving forward. It is not your place to tell her or intervene at this point. OP's response: since this is the top comment so far, I'm hoping my response here will be seen by the masses. Fellow Redditors, let me make this super clear: you've convinced me tenfold not to say anything to her, and to let things play out as they should. I have done the extent of what I can by trying to reach out to him, and he decided not to listen to me. That's on him. It's not my place to initiate a fight/problem and possibly ruin things before they even happen. Trust me when I say, I am not going to go through with it. I see now that this is 1000% not my place regardless of my loyalty and relationship with my friend, and would be making things far worse by interjecting myself where I have no right to be. On a side note, I really just want you guys to understand that at the end of the day I'm a stranger to you, but more importantly, just like you, I'm only human. Please don't make hurtful assumptions on my character or my relationship with my friend. Based on a very brief summary of the situation, I know as well that this is the internet, and by posting here I've essentially invited such declarations on myself. But I came here for advice since I was admittedly operating in an emotional state, and nothing good comes from making decisions when you don't have a clear state of mind. All I ask is that you please be respectful, and know that I have read and acknowledged that this has certainly earned a YTA judgment. Please just try for a moment to understand that we all have people in our lives we care deeply for and want only the best for them, and when we worry for them it can sometimes obstruct our judgment. This doesn't make me a bad person or friend. Just utterly and completely misguided. Comment: don't tell your friend. I completely understand why you want to, but hear me out. Let this dude show his true colors. If you get in the middle you seem petty and jealous. Let him propose his way, and when your friend comes to you and complains you can kindly and gently tell her that you tried to get him to incorporate her friends/family. Then you can gently ask her if she wants to spend the rest of her life with a man who doesn't honor her wants/desires. I repeat, just let this play itself out. YWBTA if you interfere prior to the proposal. Oh hell, let the guy royally F up his proposal. It's not like you haven't warned him. You can't tell him anything, anyway. I hope your best friend sees her intended and all his family flying the red flags. Sadly, YWBTA, another comment, I'm so sorry about this. I don't think you should tell her. YWBTA if you ruin the surprise. However, this is a CYA situation. Write him a heartfelt letter about the proposal. You would be sending the email to him, but really you're writing to your friend, because this is the letter you want to show her after the proposal, so she knows exactly what kind of person she's with. Mention that you're so happy he reached out to you to get her the ring she loves. It's very important that you sound very supportive of their relationship, do not let even an ounce of frustration show. Emphasize how much her family means to her and how she'll be absolutely heartbroken if they're excluded. Tell him there's time to fix it. Write it for your friend's eyes. Then when your friend comes crying to you and wonders if she should forgive him for not knowing how important these things were to her, you can give her definitive proof that he did know and he didn't care. OP's response: I didn't tell her parents to clarify, it was a jovial conversation. Basically asked, it's been 5 years, has he reached out to you guys yet about proposing? Swear to God I haven't given it away or involved anyone else. I wouldn't do that, NTA. But don't stop him. He's showing his true colors. Let him do it. You shouldn't stop her from experiencing this, even if it ends up hurting her, but you can be there to help her pick up the pieces if you are right about how this plays out. Just be ready with a pint of ice cream and some girly films for if, when it all goes wrong. Update: so on Saturday, the day of the proposal, I got a call from her BF. He was screaming at me, blaming me for not showing up uninvited still to the proposal with her parents because she was upset they weren't there. I was slack-jawed. I told him I knew this would happen, and he says verbatim, you just admitted you knew this would happen, so if you knew the whole time and you actually cared about her, you would have invited them. I was gobsmacked and hung up on him. Not even an hour later I get a call from her asking me to come to her parents. According to her, this is how the situation played out: he popped the queue, she said yes, and the people he invited popped out from hiding. She was bombarded by 4 of his guy friends, his mom, dad, older brother and his sister-in-law. His parents were holding a sign that read "Welcome to the family." Mrs. Insert his last name here, and this is where things go downhill. I did not know this before, and I thought I knew everything, but my friend doesn't want to change her last name, and she's told him that repeatedly since they got together. She's an only child from a Ukrainian family, and with everything going on with Ukraine in the last year, she's doubled down. When she saw the sign, she joked, "Mrs. his last name? I think you mean Mrs. her last name." Everyone went silent until his mom said, "Well, the ring is already engraved, no changing it now." She takes the ring off and sees Mrs. his last name engraved on the band. Then she asked if her parents were coming. He gave every excuse, he didn't have their number. There were too many people there, he wanted to keep it private, and eventually said, "This was my proposal to you and now my family is your family. We can just send your parents the pictures later." She took the ring off and left. That's when I'm assuming I got that call from him. She went straight to her parents. She asked them about the engagement, they were clueless. She then asked if I knew anything. I asked if she was in the right place, she said she was, so I told her I would answer any questions she had, rather than dumping everything on her. She was upset but thanked me. She was furious when I told her about the call from him earlier and said, "Does he really think I'm that shallow?" She said it wasn't about having a perfect proposal or her parents there, it was about him making the whole thing about himself as always, and she was done feeling ignored and belittled. So this was her breaking point. She's staying with her parents currently and has been receiving texts from him. The worst one so far is him telling her she has to pay him back for the ring and for ruining his life. Right now, all I can do is be here for her, and whatever decision she makes, I will fully support because, as you've all helped me realize, this isn't about me. It's about her. Not my monkey, not my circus. Edit: she gave him the ring back when she took it off. I did not mention this plan when I originally posted just in case her ex found this thread, but I can report now that we got a heads up last night that he wasn't at their apartment, so we ran over and got most of her shit out, at least all the really important stuff. To those asking, no, she isn't going back to him, it's over. Notable comments: I don't know what happened before, but I really hope this poor girl sees these glaring red flags and ends things with him. Good. If you had intervened, showed up with her parents, she probably would have married him, spent a few years feeling ignored, belittled. All the while believing y'all had his back, not hers. They dated for 5 years and he claims he doesn't have her parents' number? Yeah, he's a self-centered and she's better off without him. Too bad she wasted so much time. I believe technically if he still has the engagement ring she doesn't have to pay squat, because he can return it, assuming he still has the receipt.